And we're on the internet. Hello, sweetie.
Hello.
We're on the internet. So,
what else is new on your day?
So we already filmed the unboxing, which will be next weekend's video. Hi, Henrik. Hello, buddy. Good to see you.
Hi, Henrik.
So we just did an unboxing for the Corpse Rack Museum from Warcry.
Mausoleum. It's not a museum.
Yeah, bodies are on display there.
No, they're not.
In my mausoleum, they will be.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
I think we're just going to put the meat all over them. They'll be the meat dungeon. I'll paint them in flesh tones. That'll be great. So
this is not Nurgle. Stop.
No, I'll just rivers of blood. It'll be the corn. You know, I can glue skulls all over these, but more skulls.
I'm just going back to painting my coins.
All right. So, show your progress. What are we working on today?
Currently, I'm in the middle of trying to dull down my blood secretor, as he's mostly finished. There's just a few things I need to add to him. You can see I've started on my whatever the heck the dog thing is.
It's called a flesh hound.
Flesh hound. So it's got my flesh hound. I've got my guy with the scourge. His armor is kind of done, and then I've got the leader dude, minus his dog.
Because his dog's over here.
Yeah, so I'm working on it.
And I'm in a building mood, so now that we've unboxed it, I'm gonna build it.
If you build it.
Hey, Jam Jar, how's it going, buddy?
Hi, Jam Jar.
All right, so we're just gonna build and
talk
and stuff. Yeah. So let's see. They did the reveal a couple hours ago.
The Black Templar video came out.
That came out, 2 days ago, Black Templars.
And then a few hours ago, they announced the Sisters of Battle box.
The official price, $210 American dollars.
I believe pre-ordering goes on sale next Saturday, from what I was told.
Yeah, something like that.
Very cool.
I kind of wish I wanted them more.
The only reason I want them is because, well, the painting capabilities.
Yes, because you want to do lovely. I have such delights to show you. Why am I putting these out? I don't even have instructions. I'm sitting here just like, I'll just flip it all up and then figure it out later. Yeah.
Thank you, Chandra, for saying so. Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited about building. I'm just going to put them together however they come. Yeah.
I'm just going to.
That'd be a bad idea. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't even bother putting instructions. These instructions are
1, 2, 3, 4.
These three pieces. They kind of look like this. Put them together. What about these other pieces? They kind of look like that.
So you guys are going to get a live review of how these instructions work for him. This ought to be good.
Well,
as his wife, I'm going to find this highly entertaining once he starts grumbling about it.
The thing I like about, I mean, we've been wanting this set.
Throw the instructions away. More fun, Jim Jam says. Or Jam Jar. Sorry, Jim Jam.
Jimmy Jam.
Jim Jams are what you wear to go to bed in.
Well, those are Jam Jams. Jimmy Jams are.
No, Jim Jams. In England.
What, they don't call them your night romper or your
No, those are completely different things. Oh man, get with the times.
Yeah, okay. I don't read the Times. I heard it's
for the propaganda.
Jimmy Jam is fine. Okay, well, she only knows that because she watched a lot of Doctor Who and reads a lot of Doctor Who
and British writers. It's always fun because I can tell when the writer I'm reading happens to be a British based on their word structure and the phrasing they use. What are you looking for?
Did you steal my knife?
No, why would I steal your knife?
You stole my knife.
I'm painting.
You stole my knife.
You probably put it away.
I need a Zactor.
Ooh, and I need this.
Yeah.
You know what else we need?
Yes, we do.
You should go and make them.
Mm.
I'm painting. So, yeah. No, it's actually kind of cool. We were at our store, the Layton Avenue store that we frequent, and the owner was
Manager.
the manager of the store. He's totally cool, Antonio. If you're watching this, you're awesome. I love you. He had noticed that they had made the announcement. Finally, it was made literally while we were there. And so he was showing me the video and what's in the box and whatnot, and just how much he is looking forward to seeing, you know, that box set and what it looks like. Fortunately, he does not get one to play with. So he's actually kind of bummed out about that.
You should buy one.
With what money?
He works for them.
Well, yeah, but he's got enough on his plate with his 1,000 sons.
I'm telling you, if I worked for them and got that crazy 50% discount,
dude, you would never bring home a paycheck. We would be broke.
We'd live in the store.
We'd live behind the store. But yeah, and then we were talking about also different terrain projects for me, because I really like doing those terrains. Display boards that I did for Armies on Parade. And I'm torn between doing a mountain-like setting, mountain summit-like setting, or doing a snow terrain one. Because one will be able to showcase his, oh yes.
What?
Jem says they're looking forward to Slaves of Dark.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're not so much. You play corn.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I can't take them and coordinate them out.
It'd be interesting to see. Some of those units might be able to, since they're both chaos, you might actually be able to ally with some of those units.
Theoretically, unless you go with war and.
No, actually, you can straight by the game. You can ally. Chaos will ally with chaos.
No, I was just talking about in the lore. Of course, I'm not playing Slaanesh, so learned that apparently lore-wise, Slaanesh hates the Unmade like so much. I was kind of surprised about that, to be honest.
I'm still confused by that. I mean,
apparently Slaanesh sees them as a bunch of posers.
Well, you know what, Slaanesh? You know what I see?
A fun time.
He will show you such delights.
Maybe that's why Slaanesh doesn't like him, because they're infringing on Slaanesh's territory, and Slaanesh currently holds the copyright.
Why don't you just empower them and make them yours instead of letting them work for Chaos Undivided? Yeah.
Because Slaanesh is a petty. You pick your favorite word? But yeah. So, and then there was a little bit of a request for us to do a F-It, we'll do it live, considering these kind of come just randomly with us. We were going to do one last night, but he got caught up in playing a game of Terraforming Mars.
I do like me some board games.
So, with its expansion of apparently going after Venus, too.
Yeah, Venus and the moons. The other moons actually now have their own boards and stuff. So, that's pretty cool.
That's actually kind of nifty.
Yeah, colonies and whatnot. Yeah.
I missed a spot when I was painting this with the dolls.
You can always add more on there. Yeah, by the way, guys, are we loud enough? Are you guys hearing us okay?
Oh, wow, I missed a complete section.
Aisha must be feeling on you.
Actually, my left eye is. God damn it, why are you giving me your left eye problems? Yeah, if anybody has a problem hearing us, just let us know. We will. Okay, good. Let's see what else.
Okay, so first off, yeah, they don't really have instructions with numbers or anything. They just say this piece goes with this piece, and it goes with this piece. Instructions are pretty easy to follow, but.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike. I'm not crazy about this fit.
what y'all are seeing me drink, we are in no way being sponsored by, but oh, do I love it. It's my poison of choice, if I had a choice. That's of the adult persuasion.
Yeah. I'm not crazy about this fit.
Let me see.
I might have to go back in with some putty or something.
It is. Ooh. So, how's it going, Mike? Hopefully well for you. Where's my screaming bells? There's my screaming bells.
Okay, so let me ask, since somebody knows, because they've been in the hobby.
Hello, my darling Commodore.
People have been in the hobby longer than I have, because I was out for a while. This Sigmarite Mausoleum, was it brand new for Age of Sigmar? Or did they recycle like an older graveyard?
He is currently building the Corpse Rack Mausoleum. A unboxing video will actually come out later this week.
Yeah,
ish.
Saturday.
But he got so excited, he didn't want to wait.
I want to build them.
And he wants to build it now. So
I mean,
you guys are going to see him build it before the unboxing video happens. As for me, I am currently painting some cornates because some genius
Water cornates.
He was trying to suck up, by the way.
I was sucking up. I traded. Good trade.
Sucking up.
I got 11 figures out of it. She got 17.
He stole my Stormcast.
I did not steal your Stormcast. Your Stormcast are in that box over there. My Stormcast, though, are all nicely primed, getting ready to paint. Recycle Garden of Moors set. Okay, so it is an older set. You can kind of tell. I'm looking at some of these build lines here. I'm going to have to go in after this dries. I'm going to probably have to go back in and sand and maybe use a little bit of putty because some of these fits are.
Okay, he was fairly positive that the set had been around in the fantasy Warhammer setting
from before Age of Sigmar because
yeah, so
the fits. When you work with a model kit enough times, you kind of get to notice, like, you start noticing when pieces are older, and this is most certainly some older.
But yeah, so mine is, I'm painting this guy here. So
yeah, that gigantic, awesome looking figure. Oh my gosh. You mean somebody bought you figures and gave you good stuff? No. I would never do that.
My husband doesn't love me.
I gotta say though, I do love the rose motif that goes through all of these. I mean, there's just these.
Yeah, I was noticing the mold lines a bit here and there. You can actually see on some of the undersides where the ridges are from the printer.
Yeah.
So that was actually kind of cool. Yep. The blood secretor, basically blood priest, I think, is what it looks like to me.
Blood secretor. Yeah,
I'll
you
bring him up
guys.
nice and close and horribly out of focus. Pictures are forthcoming of him as soon as I can. I'm all finished with it. Currently in the middle of making his metal look not shiny and new. Because, yeah. And then once it's all painted and I have all of the colors where I want them to be, I'm going after it with the blood for the blood god. And the worst part is I still have no idea what I want to do with their bases. Except for lots of skulls. And probably flesh chunks on the ground because he taught me how to make those. And see, I got lots of skulls. My son gave me his box of skulls.
She's so happy.
Yes, I'm so happy building things for the blood god. Oh, I could do Fields of Blood so easy.
You know, well, I just want to buy like a box of skulls to do that. And no, I said I would want to buy a box of skulls because I know if I did that project, I would use the entirety of the human skulls in there, and all the demonic skulls too. It'd be.
At least he's not talking about painting anymore. Yeah, guardsman. So we were in Frost and Fist on Friday, just sitting talking, and he made a comment, and so I yelled at him across their chat channel, "Don't touch my invested scions."
That's because I was talking about doing the Imperial Guard, doing them up in Star Wars colors, and then
he's got his own damn Imperial Guard. I should point this out.
And that's what I was talking about. But I was like, you know, you could take some Tempesta Scions and paint them up to look like, you know, stormtroopers.
You could.
And that would be pretty epic looking.
Well, I know somebody who did theirs like red shirts from Star Trek. That was pretty cool. And also, I'm pretty sure the red goes faster does not work on humans.
Oh, it certainly does. They die real quick.
That was the exact response I got, by the way. Yeah, it sure does, and it's red, so that the next poor sucker who wears the armor doesn't notice the blood stains. So, yeah.
Oh, I like him. He's smart. He's wearing the brown pants. Brown pants, red shirt. You are ready for combat.
That would be epic, D. You look like you have loads of fun without instructions.
Man, these instructions are garbage. And seriously, I mean, honestly, these aren't hard kits to build. Looking at them, they're really not hard to build. But man, these instructions are garbage.
It's literally step 1, you're done.
No, there's no steps. They've got a picture of the pieces exploded, and you kind of have to go.
And then it goes, okay, you're done.
And it just has the pieces exploded. You're just like, okay.
And then it's the pieces all together. If you're doing stormtroopers, you should do the Necromunda.
Oh, the Arbites. You know, here's the thing. So here's the thing.
Prepare for story time.
I have been looking at that Necromunda, the new starter box that comes with a group of the. There's a group of the new Necromunda cultists, and there's the group of Arbites with them, and it comes with. Yeah, they can see if you come in and put some clothing on. You don't go walk around.
Teenager.
So here's the thing. It comes with the Zone Mortalis in plastic. So the first time they're doing Zone Mortalis in plastic. Now, I have never actually played a Zone Mortalis game, but I've seen the rules, and I'm going to tell you, they look fun. They are an entire change to the way, if you're not familiar, they're basically, you're playing your same 40K, but instead, you're playing it indoors. It plays a lot like the old Space Hulk used to play, which was a lot of people my age, was our introduction to Tyranid, Gene Stealers, and 40K in a whole. I mean, not Gene Stealer. Yeah, Tyranid or Tyranids. It really is. It's great stuff. Well, this is the actual terrain to play, like on a Space Hulk or in an underground hive and all that. And it was on Forge World for a very long time.
Hi, Atomic Dog. Yes, teenagers in there. You just don't understand. No, because I'm old and I forgot.
So anyhow, so the new the new set, the new
corpse grinder guys are sexy.
They are. They are hella sexy. And since somebody has started talking about wanting to use her coordinates for both 40K, and she could take them and use them in 40K as just straight up chaos cultists. And, that's a troop choice taken care of, and they're great figures. And as you can see with her talent in painting cornates, again, Lady Dragon is a talented painter. I mean, I'm just going to say this out there. I've been saying it for a while. Sometimes it even makes me a little jealous, I will admit, because she's shown the ability to do things that I have struggled with for years trying to get down. And she's really good at them. So she wet blends like a son of a biscuit. Yeah, she is. She is like good. Don't let her fool you. Is she a great mini painter? She's getting there. For somebody that's been painting minis for 6 months, hold that shit up again.
Let me finish this part of it.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing. She's going. She's great. Anyhow, she wants to do cornates in 40K. So I'm thinking if I get that box, I'll give her the cultist. She can do them up as a group. Because I don't think I want to play Necromunda. I'll be honest. The game Necromunda,
I use them for conversions.
I've been using them for conversions too. I mean, that's the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Teenager's bedroom is right there. So yeah, they're gonna see them wandering in and out of frame.
Yeah, that's our kid Will. Will occasionally comes and hosts on the show too. Yeah, Will's bedroom is right there, and school tomorrow.
So
All right, Mike, have a wonderful day or evening. It's always a pleasure to talk with you.
So the idea,
talk at you.
Yeah, talk at. So the idea was I kind of wanted to get the box set because I wanted. There's a crap ton of terrain in there. No, there's a piece that had come up, and I was going to give her the cultist, and I wanted to get Arbites, but I didn't want to use them for Imperial Guard. I want to use them to use them as Wolf Scouts, because the Scout figures are for crap. The Scout figures are so bad. They're just bad. They're old and they're ugly and they're bad. I don't like them, and I don't know if this is the right piece. See, these instructions are crap.
Kind of reminds me of the time when I went camping with my parents as a kid, and they decided to throw the how to put the pop-up tent instructions away. You know, those canopy things? They threw them away, and my mom, my dad, my aunt, my uncle, my grandpa couldn't figure out how to put it up because they threw the instructions away. My sister walked over with my cousin. Done. Took them 2 hours before they asked the teenagers for help, just to let y'all know. And if my mom ever sees this channel, I love you, mother.
It's because they're... Man, I hate these instructions.
Oh, you want to switch?
No, they're fine. It's just they're not very descriptive, and you kind of go, "What the? Oh!" Remember we were talking about the fact that they use duplicate frames?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. They're using duplicate frames. So you're mirroring your frames. So you're using one half to build one half and one half to build the other half. And you literally have to, oh my God, I would have done that wrong too. That's amazing. Amazing. I'd have started assembling. That'd have been fucking hilarious.
Demonetized.
There we go. Hello.
We are now officially at a PG-13 rating. And yes, you can see the teenager in the background popping in again. Yeah, they're calling it every single time you pop through, by the way. Oh my God, why?
Because it's you're fun.
Because they're all our age. They're all adults our age who have kids your age, dear. So your antics are not surprising to them.
I didn't do anything. We're just walking.
Okay, so you're walking.
Really close to the ground.
Yes, you're walking to the house weird. You're not out. Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here and continue to dirty up this bronze.
Okay. So.
Do you mean call this bronze? I call it more copper.
No, it's bronze.
Bronze is darker brown.
Depends how much copper's in the bronze. Because that's the thing. Bronze is made from copper.
Oh, that's right. You have to
Mix it with tin.
Yeah, I don't remember that because that was from World of Warcraft.
You know what that's also from?
Huh.
That you should know?
Skyrim?
Red River.
Actually, they never actually explain how they get the iron. They think that because of the time period that comes in, they think iron comes from meteorites. So, just quick explanation. Red River is a manga that I fell in love with. It's a slight historical documentation instead of the Egyptians or Japanese, which you see most often. It's actually on the Hittites, circa the year 14 BC, 1400 BC. Basically, the story starts just before, about 2 years before Tutankhamun dies. So it's actually kind of interesting. A lot of interesting, actually. All right. So that's done. All right. So.
All right. So let me show you something.
Take it.
Look at this. Yeah, she is an average painter, folks. Remember that. Average. That thing is gorgeous. It's really well done.
I can further prove that I'm only an average painter if you go to my Instagram, which somebody taught me to get, and I'm kind of scared.
The only thing average about her painting is the fact that she still glues her fingers together.
I did that once.
Yep.
I also stabbed myself in the eye once too.
Got a real close look at that peg hook, huh?
Yeah, you might say I have an inside view.
So anyhow, so these instructions are
Oh! I love your topic joke. Oh man. You just made me scare off one of my cats. Oh god, that's thank you. I needed that. Thank you.
yeah. Yeah, she's one of the reasons I've contemplated leaving the hobby. She paints better than I do. And now she's better at the game than I am.
No, I'm not.
As proved by our game on Friday.
I'm playing Custodes.
When she whooped my ass.
I had to name my zealot Dwayne because he kept unloading into him, and the joke was he was popping his backs and bouncing the bullets. Because I kept making my saves. It was great because he wanted to record it.
And unfortunately, the store owner was like, I can't let you do that.
Yeah, we wanted to actually record the match, and he said no. So I was like, hey, honey, you want to do it when we get home? And he's like, no.
Oh, no, we're not reenacting this crap.
To which we were telling the guys on Frost and Fist when we got home from it. And somebody was like, does he ever win?
Yes, I win a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Lady Dragon is like when somebody gives her this. Because he didn't tell me no.
Speaking of which, good morning. There's a 2-liter of my Soda Pop in the Friginator. And where's the adult beveragination?
They're in the living room where they always go.
Okay. Can you bring me the bottle of the adult beveragination?
Again, we are in no way, shape, or form sponsored or to the what you're about to see.
Dr. Pepper loves me, and I'm having a long damn day. Long damn weekend. Yeah. I could talk about it a little bit because I've actually talked about it a bit before in one of my earlier videos. When I get into my real build modes, when I get into heavy, I need to build,
Or he's just having one of those days where he can't focus.
I suffer from anxiety. And most of the time, it's absolutely manageable. And I can deal with the real world, and I can deal with people, and I can deal with being out in the world.
They're on the side of the cabinet closest to the door. The tall one, the curio.
And unfortunately, the reality is that the hobby Thompson's. Oh, bring them both. Yeah, both of them.
Hey. I'm an adult, really.
Thank you. All right.
Of course. For those of you who know, Ray is our other teenager who will be leaving us.
He's not a teenager.
Well, kid.
Child spawn. Anyhow, I suffer from anxiety. And when I am having a bad day, the hobby is one of my coping mechanisms. So mugs will be fine.
Yeah, mugs will work if there are any mugs.
When I'm having a bad day, I build. I build when I can. And it helps me focus on not having a bad day. And I'll tell you,
how much?
It's some damn expensive therapy.
It's taken on my tattoo money.
But it is a good respite for me. The building, just put a couple splashes in the bottom.
Literally.
That's good. So, talking about the hobby, playing the hobby, playing the game, talking about it with friends, talking about it, listening to it.
Actually, I think therapy may be more expensive.
It helps. It distracts me. To put it simply, it distracts me. And just fill up the cup.
Fill it up?
Yeah, I'll nurse it the rest of the afternoon.
Wow. That's the weakest drink you've ever had.
I didn't want a lot. I just want a little bit. So it's just one of those, it's one of those things. And it's one of those things that I've had to come to terms with who I am and what I'm about. And that's good. And one of the things that's great about the hobby is because it is so many things for so many people. Today is a perfect example. We popped by the store because
nobody saw that.
We needed to get some Screaming Bell and some Warplock Bronze and some more Balthasar Gold.
I ended up buying this. It's called Skull Crushers, and it's really bright. I was a little surprised. I wasn't expecting it to be that bright. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about these cups. Or these bottles. Blick, 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 blick,
blick. That's what I'm saying, my friend. Powered by unicorn farts. Yeah, it's a little strong. Yeah, a little stronger than I expected. No. So
I have twice as much in mine.
Yeah, well,
You're probably going to fill the thing.
Yeah, you're gonna fall down.
Not that much.
You're gonna fall down.
I could have mixed it with the cranberry juice and see what happened. Ooh, I could have mixed all three.
You know, a splash of cranberry juice in there actually wouldn't be bad.
Nah. Mixing those two with the cranberry, I'm only one step away from what did Becky call that thing? Delicious?
I don't know, because there's Midori in hers.
So that's the only difference between what I would have had. Anyway, but yeah, no, this I've heard this actually quite a bit for multiple people who suffer from anxiety or depression, is that this hobby actually helps quite a bit, as well as people who are socially awkward. And what did you just drop?
I don't know. Someone flinging into space. A piece I cut off. Anyhow, so I use the hobby as therapy. So we were out today doing some grocery shopping, and I had a panic attack.
Yeah. Normally it's me. It's actually amusing because I tend to have panic attacks on Sundays.
And I normally don't. I've been really good lately, but for whatever reason, I had a really bad panic attack today. And it was...
I dragged him by our Layton store. Yeah.
Went by the Layton store, picked up some paint.
It looks fine. Looks rippled.
What looks rippled?
Oh, the water decal.
Let me see. It does not look rippled. It looks fine.
The top of it looks...
Here's the thing. Here, well, that's fine when you put clear over there. The problem is, see it upside down?
Oh, it's like this.
Yeah, the moon goes up top.
No, the circle is on top.
Okay. As long as you do them all the same way, that'll be fine. It'll be fine. If it's that little bit lip there, you give it a thing with the clear coat and be fine.
Okay.
Again, remember, Will, these are your first figures. So
no one's
expecting them to be perfect. You're learning on these. Will is building some Emperor's children. So,
which makes me question my child. I should just probably say this a lot. Why? You're making corn.
Okay, yeah, the corn's fine.
Yeah, all right, y'all know what that's all about.
All right, so they come together just fine. I mean, these pieces actually look really good. I don't mind them. I don't know what these statue sides are. I'm gonna probably have to go and sand and putty this some. I don't like the way this looks at all. But like I was saying, I use the hobby as a means of treating my anxiety and depression. And one of the things I've had to learn. What?
I was trying to remember where my drawing pad was. I figured people might want to see a preview of those. What's been promised.
The prince?
The
prince was promised. We don't like Game of Thrones in this house. Not at all.
Which was why we don't have an entire line of...
You'll always be my queen.
No.
All right, so anyhow.
Not even remotely close. Bitch had to die.
You be my queen in death. You're still dead. Anyhow.
He had it coming. Yeah. Oh wait, we're not supposed to talk politics.
Yeah. And it's taken me a while. It's taken me a bit to actually be able to talk about it publicly. You know, I gotta say there is a level of...
Hey, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
No, I'm not coming by today to fight Jason. It's not happening. Nope.
Are you fighting Jason? Well, is it at that point?
Yes, I'm supposed to fight Jason. I just don't know when.
Well, you can hit up Jason on my Facebook.
How about you hit up Jason on your Facebook and ask him when he's going to avenge you?
He's not going to avenge me. Where? Cut myself.
And this is why I make the warnings about the blades that I do.
Wow!
They're
This is why
I'm a Murloc with an Exacto.
Never do that around my mom's German Shepherd, by the way. Never make a Murloc noise around that dog. I did it once because I was talking to my youngest, and I made the Murloc noise, and that dog came flying across the house and jumped on me. Like, where's the Murloc? Where's the Murloc?
So how do I put down the one properly?
Use the instructions for her bandage, Big D. That's great. Thank you. I needed that.
Yeah. So I did not throw them away. They're right here, underneath of the sprues, where they belong. Off to the bin.
He does what the doctor does with instructions. Throws them in the nearest black hole.
I look at them.
And then throws them in the nearest black hole.
Because they're not right. They're wrong. They're bad. They're foul.
I don't know. There's a bunch of crap around here.
What are you
Where'd
asking?
the decals go?
I put them in the drawer where they belong. Bottom drawer.
I know.
Ah!
Sorry. Blame that, I always.
So, yeah. There is a certain amount of the anonymity of the internet that actually makes it, and a certain amount of openness in talking about.
It's a little bit easier to talk to people, I think, about your problems online than it is in person, because sometimes you're looking at the other person and...
I don't want to bother people with my shit.
No, he doesn't. He's very much like, I don't want to talk about nothing. I've been married to him for almost 3 years now. We've been together for 7. Yeah. Getting him to talk was difficult.
I don't talk about my problems. I suffer in silence. Learned that skill from my mom.
And unfortunately, he has a particular song that he likes to sing when it gets to be too bad,
When
he's trying to pretend that everything's all right. Every time I hear him sing that damn song, I want to smack him. Not because
She
I know
abuses me. She abuses me.
He beats me.
I do.
And demonetized. I told you, I don't know. Why are you asking me?
What are you asking about?
Will
Wait, I don't think I put it on correctly.
Okay. Put on what? The water decal?
Yeah.
There's really no wrong way to do it.
I mean, what do? You take your decal, you cut most of the paper out from around it, you put on a little bit of water. You put like a little dish or something, you can put the water in just a little bit. You put it in there, you let it soak for about 20, 30 seconds. Then you take it out and you slip it onto the place where you're going to put it on the model. Let it dry. And then take some matte medium or some matte varnish and give it a coat. Or even gloss, because you're going to be matte sealing later. And you're done. But while it's drying, you want to just leave it be.
Big D loves to sing.
I have a good voice. Don't let the large body and overt weirdness fool you.
Thank you, honey.
I have. I appreciate you, Henrik. I really do.
He
And
appreciates all of you guys. Don't let him fool you.
I do. And that's actually one of the reasons. Plastic. One of the reasons I actually started doing this whole thing was honestly as a way of channeling my escapism and getting through it easier. Because let's be honest, the real world is it sucks, but it is a dark and scary place at times. And I think that's what I dropped. I think I dropped one of these.
Oh.
Oh no, it's right there. Oh, I have no idea what I dropped. Anyhow, the world is a dark and scary place at times. It really is. And
It's donkey. Hold on, I gotta show it. You're good.
And when you're a dad in this day
Or
and age,
mom.
I'm talking about my perspective. So I've never been a mom before. I've thought about it.
I was just tossing it in for any females that are watching.
No, and then the same, you know, I'm a parent, and as a parent, what they don't tell you when you have these little buggers is
Even though they're a tax write-off, you don't get rid of them.
There's a whole lot of extra things in the world that you may have not thought about before that now suddenly you got to think of.
Or things you did that you didn't think were all that big of a deal. Now you have a kid and you're like, please don't let my kid do that.
So that kind of adds to it. So I'm kind of glad that both my kids are in one form or another into the hobby. Ray is more or less more of a role player, so he really, I mean, he digs 40K, but he'd actually prefer to role play it than play the war game.
He runs an amazing game.
You know, and as you do. But it's nice to know that, you know, if the two of them are spending all of their pocket money on Warhammer 40K stuff, I never have to worry about them being into drugs or going out and drinking and partying because they won't have any money to do any of that.
They also never leave the house.
Hey, that's great. I do it more now. Because I have friends that are online. I was just coming talking to people.
So they actually give you more pieces that there was only one frame of the floor pieces. Well, we unboxed it, right? There was only one frame of the floor. So those of you that got this set, there's going to be 4 of these crypts. You're going to
Child. Hellcat. I swear I haven't.
Hell Child.
I have not had that much to drink.
No. It's interesting because you're going to get 4 of these crypts, but only 2 of them have bases. Actually, there's 4 of these crypts. And 2 of the, yeah. You're getting 6 crypts, but only 3 of them get the bases. So 3 of them are just going to be sitting on the board.
Okay, so basically, Hellchild, what you missed is we decided, screw it, we're going to go ahead and do this live. I'm working on Cornates, and he is working on trying to put together the corpse wrap mausoleum, which we did an unboxing video for, which you will get to see later this week. And he just got so excited that he had to put it together.
I just love terrain.
And
it's part of No Bolter November. It's a non 40K piece, so it had to be done. That's the rule.
He got impatient.
That's simplifying it.
Yeah, he got impatient. And we decided to go ahead and just live stream, and we've been talking about this and that.
So these walls,
those are independent.
Yeah. They actually think these are going to stand up on their own and not flip over. They're cute.
Not everybody has you on staff, darling.
I
really enjoyed putting together my display piece and the terrain. I thought it was actually
okay.
Really fun.
I do gotta say, I kind of wish I worked for 40K. I think, or for, I'm sorry, Warhammer, the company.
Games Workshop?
Games Workshop. Whatever. Well, actually, they're changing their name to Warhammer.
Yeah, but currently
they've been talking about it now for a year. It's like we're Warhammer because all their games are.
Building anything is therapeutic, which was another topic that we were.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I said, I had that panic attack earlier today. Kind of put me in a really bad place, and you guys are.
The what?
kind of good for me.
This one?
Yeah.
The Gene Stealer purple?
Yep.
You guys are good for me.
You stroke his ego where I do not.
Okay, that's not it. What you guys do is you give me a sounding board for me to throw my ideas at, and at the same time, I don't get distracted looking at you because she makes me think naughties. Oh, I do I?
When you're crafting, yes, you do. And hey, I'll take another shot. Child passed you another shot. Cheers.
They have done the name change over the You know, it's like I said. I don't. I did therapy for a very long time, and I can mostly manage my stuff. I'm not so bad off that I'm like and locking myself in a bedroom for weeks at a time. I've got friends. I've got people that I know people that have got it that bad, and I'm not there. I admit I'm naughty. I don't use meds. I used to, and I didn't like the fact that taking the meds most of the time, at least the meds they originally prescribed me with, I know that's changed over the years, but the meds they originally prescribed me with, in a lot of ways made me not act like me. And I like me too much.
Really, the range, huh?
Oh, you know, I'll be honest. I miss going to the range. One of the things I loved about the military, if I had the ability to go back to shooting 45 competitively, I'd be all over it. I miss shooting the 45.
So instead of 40K, 45. Interesting. There's a change.
Okay. Not even close.
I'm being facetious and stupid.
You're not being stupid.
I'm going back to kicking.
Yeah, shooting is very therapeutic. Gosh, that is one of the biggest things I miss.
I've gotten into archery.
Yeah, but being able to do that, modeling is. Oh, that does go right there. That's actually kind of neat. It's a nice fit. That'll actually stand up. So yeah, modeling in a lot of ways has become my therapy. I don't use the meds. Like I said, the original meds they put me on, and it's changed now, but I really just kind of felt out of body a lot of times on them. So I doubled down on the amount of therapy I was doing for a while there, and I learned coping methods, mechanisms, and 90% of the time they work pretty gosh darn good. There are days like today when you have good days and you have bad days, and today was a bad day. So we're building.
That, and we've had this box for like 3 days, and he's been jonesing and foaming at the mouth.
I love this set. I'll be honest with you. I want to do an entire board, and I don't mean a Warcry board. I want to do an entire Age of Sigmar board that is just one gigantic mausoleum. I think that would be just so cool. Just skulls and crypts and open graves and fences, and I think that would be really, really great. Be so much fun to build, and then the stuff you can do with the terrain on the ground. Yeah. And that's, Jam Jar, that's exactly it. I prefer to use life on a whole as a medication. So I try to live my life better. I try to eat better. I've tried to change up how I eat. I've lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight. It's to understand how much weight I've lost. This here used to be this. I've lost my wife.
In weight.
Yeah.
You did not lose 232 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you now.
But not since the whole. I mean, since the beginning, since I first started drinking it. You drink sugared soda. Here's your first problem. Diet soda accounted for 80 pounds before I did anything.
For men, it doesn't do the same in women.
Yes, because hollow calories are different for different people.
Yeah.
Please stand by while we do that. All right, everybody, this is Lady Dragon from your new house for the night. Did he really? Well, that's great for him.
Yeah, he did. He was looking good. They were talking. Well, yeah, you had to go to bed. You didn't get to watch that.
I was watching with everybody.
Look, you didn't. They talked about that. You may have been while you were trying to get your computer hooked up or something. That was one of the first things we talked about. He's lost like 300 plus pounds. I mean, it's so good. And that's the thing. Unfortunately, the biggest problem with the hobby is you spend so much of your time sitting at your desk, not getting up and doing stuff. So it's really easy to get huge.
That is really cool for Richard. That's so awesome. I'm so happy for him. Losing weight sucks.
No, losing weight is
it's hard. I wish putting on weight was as easy as losing it, frankly, because yeah.
Wait.
Or wait. I am not drunk. I would like to point
She
this out.
wishes that
It was
losing weight was as easy as gaining weight.
Yeah, that one.
It is, but it's often more extreme. Not enough saws to go around, and I like all my pieces where they are. I'm just saying, I'm betting the unmade are actually pretty light. Man, that's hard.
Especially when you're not a very high-income family.
Eating meat is good. Eating meat is expensive. It's the main thing you eat. And you can eat a lot of vegetables. And we do, but it's just
expensive.
One of the messed up things about this country is that nutrition is expensive.
Whereas I can go down to the McDonald's and get plenty of food for, $5. Not helping.
Yeah. But when you're hobbying and you don't want to be bothered, just want to eat something quick and go back to it. Hey, let me dial up Domino's, order a pizza, and they'll deliver to my house, and I don't have to go anywhere, and I can just sit here and build and paint and prime and spray and next thing you know, you're a house in your house. Not healthy.
You can have regular cranberry. You're not drinking any of the cran raz.
Okay. That's why I asked for cranberry.
Go ahead and get us cranberry juice. But that aside, like I said, we try to do try to do right, and you try to do good, and you try to do right by yourself, and you try to take care of yourself. And the hobby is a big part of that. The hobby is therapy. The hobby is me hanging out with friends.
Exactly. It was commenting that eating across over there is just as difficult, especially with GW's recent price increase. I'm still crying because I still want, you know, Rising Phoenix or Blood of the Phoenix box so bad.
Yeah, and
every single time I see it, I have to get it.
We'll get it. I mean, it's the next purchase in line. It's the next purchase we're saving up for, but it is actually.
You gotta, stop spending in the first place.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, it's the next big purchase we're making, and it's gonna be a while before we get it, but that's the next big one we're getting.
I can't taste it.
You shouldn't be able to. That's the good thing.
Yeah, but it's dark.
She's an Eldar player in 40K, so she's a Drukari. Drukari.
Yanari.
You say psycho rape clowns. I say drug using murder goblins. Same difference.
Yeah, they're not clowns. That's the Harlequin. Why are you?
Because I don't know what to do with those, so I'm not taking them out yet. But that's all junk.
So why are you giving it to me?
So you can put it in the garbage. Next to you there. And if it's not, just put it on the chair. One frame down! She's a lovely woman. She doesn't at all make me angry. Ever.
How many more frames?
About 4.
Why are you singing the stripper song?
Oh, because they're fun.
You like them more when they're not kicking your ass.
No, I don't like them. I did like them. Now they can F off.
I still think it's funny that people want me to build an entire squad.
They realize how long that would take?
It wouldn't take long.
How many Wolfen is too many? There's such a thing as too many.
How many Wolfen is too many? How many Wolfen can you put into a single unit? That's the first question to answer. If you can do if Wolfen can be 20 Wolfen in a unit, let's say there's 20 Wolfen you can put in a single squad. I think Wolfen are limited to 10-man squads. I don't know. So if Wolfen can be in a 10-man squad, then 31 is too many because they're not considered a troop choice. So you want exactly how many you can maximum have, which would be, I think if it's a 10-man unit, you can have 30 in an army. Now, that's because they're not a troop choice. And they've changed the rules on how that all works. But here's the other flip side of that is, that's if you're doing only one house or one company. Now, if you're doing the Iron Wolves, and you're doing Sea Wolves, and you're doing the Great House, Black Mains, and you're doing the Shadow, whatever the new guys are, and you're doing like I do, which I have the 13th company as well, then you need 3 full units for every army you have, because the Wolfen are probably the single most useful non-Primaris unit, honestly, that the wolves can use, in my opinion. Which makes me salty because I don't have any. All of my wolves are Primaris except for a very small number of them. And I really want one of those Christmas boxes that comes with a unit of Wolfen, which I don't have, comes with the flyer, which I don't have, and comes with a group of intercessors, which I can always use more of. But I can't get the Christmas box because I'm a good husband. And before I get myself any more big boxes, any more special boxes, any more big sets, Commoner, if you're saying that about the new Wolfen, you're under orders to slap yourself because the Wolfen look amazing. And for you to say something is borderline Zane-like in your heresy.
I'm going back over here.
Yeah. You deserve to be hurt for saying that. Wolfen are a great model. No, in all seriousness, though, Tonic Dog, I used to like you, and now, you're dead to me.
Wait, is that why it's so quiet?
They are not overhyped cavemen. Space wolves are space Vikings,
says the orc player.
Here's the thing. I like orcs. You know what I like the most about orcs? Setting them on fire. All right, so and I'm not even a black Templar. On the other hand, I did hear from my orc player friends. The word is by the end of 2020, there's a new Space Wolf box coming, and it's going to have orcs in it. It's going to be an orcs versus Space Wolves box. Get hype. Get real hype.
No. I refuse.
You didn't do it right. No.
See, the reason why I say no about getting hype is I got hype. I got hype for the Mountain versus the Hound. I don't think we're at 9th edition yet.
No. I honestly, here's the thing. From the way certain, I can't go into too much because I don't want to expose anybody's stuff. But let's just say there's a leaker out there who's...
Stop talking. I'm going to Tom Holland him now. Spoilers.
I'm just saying they've announced there. If you know where to look, they've already said where the next like 5 or 6 box sets are going to be. Blood Angels are going to be getting Tyranids. Space Wolves are getting an Orc box, and as I understand it, it's going to be Black Templars versus Chaos Marines. Okay, Tonic Dog, what is your rumor? Let us hear said rumor. I like rumors because you know what the best part of rumors are? They don't have to be true. You can just talk about them.
And how much fun they would be if they were true.
Exactly.
This bronze looks like gold.
Which one are you using?
It's gold. Oh, this is brass. That's why. I'm a dumbass.
It looks good though.
I want to look at a different.
Put a little bit of Agrex on that. Look great.
Agrex or known.
Guard getting anything? No. No. Didn't they just get something like 20 years ago? The problem is that the reason all the box sets that are coming out are Marine focused, you guessed it, kids, Marines are the poster boy of the game. Honestly, for most of us, I'm surprised orcs don't get more. I'm surprised they don't, because I know when I first got into 40K,
Orcs are cool.
Orcs are cool. Honestly, truly, orcs are my favorite Xenos. They really are. I'm not good at painting them. I got a few to do. I want to do more. I kind of want to because I love their look. I love their aesthetic. Tonic Dog, where are you at in the country? Seriously. And the reason I wonder that, because, I mean, this hobby has people in the U.S. all over the place. It's a matter of you digging the holes that they're in and digging them out.
Oh, I know where that is.
Oh, Gilbert. I know exactly where Gilbert is, actually.
Yeah. We used to have some friends who lived out there. And if I'm not mistaken, Drewby's over there too.
Yeah, that's where Drew's is.
Yeah.
Especially, but Drew doesn't play.
No.
He plays D&D. But isn't there, I'm almost guaranteeing, isn't there in Phoenix, isn't there a GW shop, an actual GW shop in Phoenix?
He's apparently underestimating exactly how big Phoenix, Arizona is.
No, I'm not. I have a good idea how big Phoenix is. I'm curious if there is an actual 40K shop in Phoenix, because if there's a 40K shop in Phoenix, you're gonna have some local players. That's what I'm saying. All right. Chat's gone dead for a moment here, and my wife's lost her mind. So
I have not lost my damn mind.
Are you sure about that?
That would infer that I had it to begin with.
Exactly.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Scottsdale. Okay, yeah, Scottsdale. That's a half-hour drive. Yeah, it's about as far as we go. I mean, honestly, we're kind of, interestingly, we're in the middle of the north side of Milwaukee. We're on the far western. No, we're on the far northern end, in the middle of the city, east and west. We can go about 30 minutes further north, and there's a GW shop there, or we can go 30 minutes south and hit a GW shop there, plus a couple other gaming stores. And that's the only reason I ask, is that because, I mean, even if there's not a GW store nearby, I mean, either that, a GW store nearby, Being able to just find local gamers. You know, I'm sure. I mean, like we have a very lively. Now, I admit we have a very lively community here in Milwaukee, but
By lively, he means psychotic.
okay, I get what you're saying there. I get what you're saying there. Game 4. Game 4 is an app. Uncle Adam, who runs a channel called Tabletop Minions, if you're not familiar with it, he actually wrote an app for the iPhone and the Android that and it's called Game 4. What it does is, and this is going to be funny, but think of it like
a dating app, but for games.
Yeah, it's basically it's swipe right to game with me. And people will advertise their games and, hey, I'm a 40K player looking for, long walks in the Imperium and blowing up Xenos.
My turn-ons include long walks in the Imperium, praying to the Emperor, and causing the extermination of Xenos.
Should I glue these gates open or shut?
One open, one shut. Partially open.
I'm asking your opinion. Should I glue them so they're shut, or should I glue them so they're open so people can walk through them?
Okay, taking a poll.
All right, quick poll. So I have this really cool gate. The gates are glued in place. Should I glue them shut, or should I glue them open? What y'all think?
Excuse me.
Open. Half open.
Okay, so we got Sorry. I did something bad.
She just corned herself. One open, one shut.
That's half. 2 for half.
Ben, they don't, I will drive back over to the store.
He's not there anymore.
Just to give your kid sugar.
Which one?
Yes.
Okay, so just real quick while he's considering, looks like we've got 2.
We're going to do them half open.
Yeah. So, as many of you know, I'm actually quite a big fan of the If the Emperor Had Text-to-Speech Device series that is here on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's great. I actually learned...
If you play 40K and you haven't seen it, you have not lived.
I actually learned quite a bit about the lore from it. Use paper clips to make hinges for them.
No.
Anyway, I recently found out that the gentleman who does it, whose name I cannot remember for the life of me, he started doing a podcast with some of the other voice actors from the show. And the first one I watched actually had him going over the White Scars. So it was actually a lot of fun because they went through the codexes 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then they went through the original codex, which is the Guide to the Astronomicon or something like that. It's really bad. And
it's not really bad. Just the lore has really changed.
Yeah. And they kind of did them in reverse order. So they did the
index, which
first
came out with 8th edition.
Well, they did the codexes for, they did the index, the codexes. It was actually really cool because they were talking about it, how originally they did not use dreadnoughts or tanks, and now they do. And one of the guys is the voice actor for Rogel Dorn, who in text-to-speech has been alive the entire time, hiding in a Centurion suit in the Imperial Palace.
He is adorable.
And he has this very, way of speaking. So whenever you hear him say that, because he just apparently thinks of the way that Rogaldorn says no and yes, it's just hilarious. And Rogal's got a little brain damage.
Hitting yourself in the head with a power fist.
Trying to scratch your head with a power fist.
Still do that.
It's not easy. Of course, also in If the Emperor Had Text-to-Speech, the Emperor has managed to win Magnus's soul back from Tzeentch. Basically, it was him going into the warp, doing an astral projection, and started poking Tzeentch repeatedly with a sword until Tzeentch gave it over. And then later Tzeentch takes on Magnus and a custodian whose name is Kitten, and Kitten beats Tzeentch and wins Magnus's soul back completely, and Tzeentch has no claim on him.
Playing a game of
hyperspace.
It's a childhood card game.
Okay, so it has this really crazy
Australian strip poker is the only part I still remember.
I remember it was hyperbolic, something strip poker. Vestroyan strip poker. And then when you actually see what the game is, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! So, yeah. And Imps is supposed to be the best player there ever is. And it's funny. It's really funny. So.
And yet Kitten is 2-0.
Yeah, Kitten is 2-0. Playing BS cards. But if you ever get a chance to watch the podcast, they're actually really entertaining. Like I said, I highly recommend just going and watching. There's 27 episodes of the
main series.
The main series, If the Emperor Had Text-to-Speech. Then there are 2 episodes of a spinoff of Korvax and Vulcan, who are back, traveling across the Imperium together on a trip to Terra to protect their father from the menace of the Magnus the Red, who is apparently holding their father hostage and controlling the Imperium from within. And
no.
And Russ has shown up, and he got talked into leaving the warp where he had been fighting this whole time by a group of Inquisitions who got fired by the Emperor and then thrown into the warp by Magnus when they tried to attack him.
It's pretty crazy. You're being super spoilerific.
Still spoilers.
There, now you're good. That's all I had to do. Spoilers.
I apologize. I'm not telling you what that is. But I can't say I probably need some more.
I finished my mug.
Do you want some more?
I don't know yet.
So, but yeah. And I'm going to go back because this guy's actually almost done, and I'm pretty.
Now I got to figure out a base for him. She hates basing.
I really do. I hate basing so much. But I had this great idea of what to do with the basing, and now I don't want to do it because that's effort.
I have a great, easy, but cool base idea.
Well, I was thinking about doing something similar to the way that you did your unmades with some more skulls and stuff.
Yeah.
On it. But
Dark Matter Workshop.
Dark Matter Workshop.
That's where I got the. That's where I got the idea.
Dude, cut away from yourself.
No, I can't control the knife.
Dad, cut away from yourself.
Can't do it.
You know, I'm the accident-prone one, and I've actually hurt myself less with the knives than he does.
I only cut myself once, so both of you can shoot.
I only cut up my thumb.
Commander
Enough for the...
Yarick? Do you know if he's still available for purchase? Or would he have to go through?
Commander Yarick is still available. He's absolutely still available. Commander Yarrick. He's a great figure. He's the guy with the huge power claw.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, the commissar with the huge power claw. I've shown you the figure.
Yeah. I'll strike safety first until it's inconvenient.
Actually, Atomic Dog, you can get them, to be honest, you can get them right off of Games Workshop's website or Amazon. Actually, pretty much everything you can get on Amazon. We got this mausoleum.
Yes, he must earn the respect. He has earned the respects of the green skin.
Yeah, he's wearing an orcish power claw on one arm.
Do it.
And he has a bonus for killing orcs. So.
Wait.
He does. He
So would that make him Big Bossa Yarrick? Big Bossa?
No.
Or Bossa?
Yeah, War Boss. They wouldn't use Bossa. They're orcs, not Gungans. Now, that'd be hilarious. I want to play orcs, but I'm going to have them all talk like a Gungans. Means to making the bigger booms.
I don't have enough alcohol in my system for this.
Wow. That was quick. We're down to 2 frames.
And who's surprised?
And nothing is glued down because I don't want to glue them down. I don't want to. You can't make me. Now I got it. Well, that's glued down. And look, the gates are half open. They look pretty cool. I like this. This is a really cool looking set.
I'd like to point out the only commissar that I actually know anything about slightly is Kuiper Kane.
Severina Rain.
I don't know anything about her.
She's the commissar that doesn't kill people.
Oh, she's the one that's got a husband. At least that's what Ray said. Speaking of Ray.
Yeah, I think he's running his game right now.
Super dramatic lad is super dramatic.
I'm gonna have extra pieces. Much like all their terrain kits, they include extra stuff. And here's the funny part.
I am wanting to hear those books really bad, Jam. Currently, I've got the first 32 of the Horse Heresy that I need to get through.
That's what that's for.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I've heard that the Kane books are hilarious because he's very much a don't wanna, not happening. Oh crap! Why is this happening to me? Okay, you know, there's a fly that is like totally in love with a drink or your cup. Apparently the fly that somehow got into my house is an alcoholic because it keeps trying to crawl into his cup. Okay, so I would love to.
That is a horrible fit. This is supposed to go on top of this pillar. You know what I say to that? No.
It doesn't even look like it lines up properly.
It doesn't.
Oh my god.
We'll put a nice little round bead on that one. It'll look good.
Oh. It's still marble on it. All right, so
the other thing you could do for your bases, you know, the soda, the super glue and baking baking soda trick I do?
No.
My Nurgle bases?
No, actually.
Okay. We can basically make a river of blood flowing through your base and have on the banks of it just blood and gore.
No, the river of blood's coming when I do the terrain. When I do my display.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got some display boards that I'm going to do to showcase so that our armies can sit out and not in boxes.
Yeah.
You should have heard and read the instructions.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense.
Here, let me read these instructions. Hang on. Page 1.
Oh,
These are pieces.
put them together.
They have arrows. Page 2. Here are more pieces. They have arrows. According to this kit, this piece doesn't exist, or you don't need instructions on how to build. You'll just know. I like the kit. I'm not gonna lie. I like the kit. It has issues. And the worst part is, I probably want to get like 2 more sets of it. Just a terrain version.
Mm-hmm.
There's a notch.
Maybe that's where the raven goes.
No, it looks like there's another big piece that's supposed to plug in there. And that's probably on the frame. Using the force. I should be careful. I stabbed myself in the face with this. No, I really didn't. I mean, this is a really cool kit. Don't get me wrong. I am not complaining about this kit. But I'm complaining about this kit. Oh, look. I forgot about the frame I put below. There's some stuff going on with this kit. Oh. So this one has a thing to go on there that doesn't actually fit on there. That's groovy. And there's Graves. Yeah. So there's an entire frame worth of stuff that there's no explanation as to how to put it on. That's awesome. All right. GW, if you are listening, seriously, dudes, what the hell? Come on now. Y'all got quality products. Your documentation department figured out how to take a 175-piece modeling kit and turn it into some pretty righteous figures. Why is it that half your terrain kits are crap for instructions? I mean, I buy your terrain kits because they're so wonderfully detailed.
What did you do?
Here we go. So I found the piece that goes above the stick. Are they doing another season?
Yep, one more.
Look, in a world that comes from a fantasy, you have a big cross to put over the door. That'll keep the vampires out.
Hi, sorry, Lucifer. Big fan of the show and the teaser for season 5 stuff. After I get rid of this horrible.
So seriously, we're here working on models, and you're looking at
handsome Brits.
Yeah. The funny thing is, for a lot of their model kits, a lot of their actual model kits, the instructions are absolutely fabulous. But for whatever reason, their terrain kits.
Let's just say she wasn't wrong there. So he's dead.
I may have to look up the actual original kit to see where things are supposed to go.
I don't think that they just died.
And they have a bunch of gravestones. Are they supposed to go on these graves? Do they have graves to stick them on? I don't know.
I'm putting it down and painting and being good.
Yeah. So I've got pieces that are supposed to go together, but I don't know how because I don't have the instructions on them. I'm going to look at the actual instructions because I'm sure there's a specific order. They have to be cleaned up yet.
Not what I was. Yeah, I figured as much, but that's not what I was looking for. No, there's no fit there. I think that goes on that. Did I let go of this one?
I don't know. That's why they're supposed to have instructions. I don't know.
The upside about having an illness and getting to stay home. We're hobby time! Get away from my alcohol. Thank you.
All right. So I have a bunch of fences. I have to figure out how these pieces go together. And I have a bunch of headstones. I found the cross. See, there's a cross at the top there. I have a bunch of gravestones and a raven. He's gonna go in the box of bits.
Let's see here.
Oh, I don't know if they're supposed to be glued together. I think they're just supposed to be loose.
The headstones go on here. Here, here, and here.
What makes you say that?
Because they're on the picture?
They're right there. They're in there.
No, honey. There's the bottom. Now
Yeah.
here are the stand-up pieces. You asked, there's some headstones. I don't know where they go. Well, that's where they go, dear. Not on that side, they go on the other side. See, if you look at the picture, here's the piece that's on the piece already. Now you have the stand-up-y piece. Stand-up-y piece. Okay, maybe not so much. Okay, that one doesn't have a stand-up-y piece, but the other two do. No, possibly. Wait. Yes, the 3 headstones go on that. The raven actually went on there.
We're going to be looking at instructions further later. I'm going to have to find the actual big instructions because
I'm sorry, that was probably rude, but it would still be so cute.
Halfling Dreadnought.
Yeah. Oh, no. It does, but apparently you can put the raven on the front side. Give me this. The instructions are on the box. No, I'm looking at the picture, man.
Yeah, there's pictures that we're going by.
I'm just looking at the pictures. I know that they're not supposed to stay like this, as was learned with the Warcry starting box, where people were putting together pieces that actually weren't supposed to be glued together.
Because they wanted you to keep everything super modular. And I'm like, that's a quick way to lose pieces.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm just looking at some of these, and I can tell where some of them go, and I can tell where some of them do not go, and I can see where some are attached. It looks like the gate itself, the main gate, is a slightly long piece. It looks like it's this piece, and then one of the... Not that one.
One of the
Longer, yeah, one of the long chain pieces. It looks like that's what makes up.
But the question is,
Wait, no,
why am I
not that one.
Oh my gosh, I'm tired. Why am I yawning? Yes, it does. Yes.
Stop. So yeah, that's the best I can tell. Is apparently the main gate is fairly long, but it looks like the other gates in the wall.
Maybe I'll just drill them out and put magnets in everything.
So, yep, that's that. I'm going back to painting. Oh, hey, maybe this will tell me.
No. Because look, there's a gate in the middle and it's perfectly straight. There's no curve.
Well, that's why I'm looking. So shut the hell up.
No.
Yeah, no, looks like all those pieces are supposed to maintain separateness. Wow. I like the one that they have in here. This is great. This is a board.
We're just going to put a fence across the middle of it and then 2...
And everybody's melee. Yeah, sounds like a great bloody idea. Sup, pup? Ooh, who's texting me and what do they want?
It's probably your mother asking you why you're on the air drunk.
Actually, it's our resident Viking sending me something. Oh, how cool! It's a modular paint rack for...
You know, to keep you from spilling paints.
And to store them. And it looks like it's... Okay, so I have no way to actually show this to you guys at all. But
What's the
basically,
company?
it's thebrokentoken.com. Hi, Zane. So it looks like the Broken Token has a modular paint rack, 33 millimeters straight. And from what I'm looking here is it does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows actually that will fit GW's paint pods actually quite well. And there is a row in the back to put your brushes in. It's got a 5 out of 5 review currently. It can accommodate 28 jars and 17 brushes.
I should email them to send me a copy to review.
They are made out of wood, actually.
It's an MDF kit, yeah.
Yeah, it's an MDF kit. So that's actually pretty cool. And it is $17.99 US. So.
Resident Viking.
Or me.
Oh, Wormy sent it.
Yeah. Commodore. He's in charge of the House Draca naval fleet.
Yeah, Commissar. I like the idea of calling him Commissar. Just shoots people.
I didn't care enough to remember. No, that would not. My mother would not be calling me to see why I'm drunk on the internet. She already knows. She'd ask me to bring her a bottle. She loves these almost as much as I do. Yeah, yeah, we did. Hold still.
You should get your mom a pack of sandpaper cigarettes.
Damn it, Dominique. No, you're the Commodore, not the Commissar. You're in charge of my Navy. I just got something on my glasses.
Don't take them off. They're sharp objects around here.
Have I told anybody about why he teases me about sharp objects in my eyes?
Yes, we talked about that in one of our previous podcasts.
I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, he uses a cannon, honey, not a gun. Oh my gosh, that's so nasty. Oh. Wow. It's so blurry. I'm so blind. What do you want? No.
No.
Hi. What time is it? Oh, it's only 5. Okay, now I can actually try and see. Hand cannon. So anyway, ow. Weather change, give me a minute.
So this is how we spend our Sundays.
Not normally with me holding my left eye, though. You just bought yourself a dragon?
Which dragons you get? Because there's so many good dragon models out there.
Dragons?
Yeah, there's a lot of really good dragon models out there.
Like D&D dragons?
Games Workshop dragons too.
I didn't know they had dragons.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you did. You know exactly they had dragons. I showed you the one for your guys. That gigantic resin monstrosity of corn. And you forget, you can get one with the high arc of whatever thing in the Stormcast.
I'm being attacked.
Dude. Out of here.
You got the Bone Reaper's 4 dragon.
Oh, Reaper Bones 4. Yeah, you know, that is... Oh, that was a... Kickstarter I really wanted to try and get in on. The problem I have with the Reaper Bones is that for the kind of games I run, I'm going to end up with a lot of figures that I have no desire for.
I feel like I'm being used here.
But I gotta say, you know, the Reaper Bones line of figures.
Corset extra. Goth.
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 Yeah, he looked really good.
Oh shit. 275mm.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous looking figure.
Hi. What do you want? Ooh. Ooh. Ah! He thinks he's a lap dog. This is really bad. No, you don't get to paint my figures.
No.
Are you done? Can I get you off my lap now? Go bug your kid. Where's your kid? Where's your kid? This oversized puppy who thinks they're a lapdog is currently attempting to climb over my lap to get to him.
Yeah. The Corn HQ has that dog on a leash. It's why the standing dude's on one of the huge oval bases. How have you never seen this, Zane? No wonder you Imperial Guard can't hit anything. Oh, the named three-headed hound. Yeah, he's a pretty cool figure too.
Yeah. Ah,
Dude.
God, he's taking me with him. All right, back to painting. So right now, for those of you who may or may not care, I don't know. Basically, I'm finishing up my blood secretor. I have to paint his neck piece in and then do some dry brushing and a little bit more of the inking because somebody here dumped over my bloody pot of nun oil, which I use very heavily whenever I'm painting metals to give them a very worn look, which is actually pretty cool.
You're trying to sell all corn stuff? What's wrong with you? Paint that stuff.
Because he is for the Emperor. We've had this conversation. And besides, he's turned from corn in the Emperor to Nurgle. Oh, that's words. Well,
A friend gave you all. Well, if you put it up on eBay for some reasonable prices,
it'll go.
It'll go.
I would buy it, but I can't. Because I don't have no monies. Because nobody wants to pay me to build terrain for them. Oh! Sorry, Zane. You reminded me. I'll be right back.
I cannot stress the usefulness of emery boards.
Alright. Sorry about that. I had to go get something. Oh. Okay.
Well, you know what I'm saying? If you're willing to donate that all to the Lady Dragon, I'm sure she'd be happy.
Okay, so first, it's gonna be a t-shirt, guys. Whew, that hurt. And then a sneak peek of the new logo. Yes, I know it's backwards. Leave me alone. Yes, Mythos and Freak are actually going to be getting a shirt. And this is the Gamecraft Dragons new logo. And this will also be available soon to purchase for t-shirts and a swag shop. So, thank you. And you are going to get a shirt, Zane. I promise. Maybe in exchange for some of your No, he's not gonna get all the credit, but I was planning on sending him one. Kind of as a present, actually, just because, you know, him and Mythos and Freak are so friggin' awesome. But yes, so there you go. I thought I would show that off. I've got 2 others that I'm working on. One of a caricature of Big D as a space wolf, and one of yours truly as a succubus.
To be specific, a Drukari succubus, not a demonic succubus.
Yeah. For the comic, so that should be fun once I can actually start using my Wacom. I really need to play with that thing. So yeah, it'll be fun. But what I was saying before I got completely and utterly sidetracked is that when I like to do when I do metal, I am not a huge fan of shiny metal, if you can kind of see.
She likes her stuff to look weathered and worn.
I like grimdark. Thank you. So I normally wash everything with non-oil, and then I go back and highlight it. That way I can get that weathered look. But considering somebody
Wasn't me.
Who knocked over the non? Wasn't me.
The third painter.
We have a third painter. So instead, he got
Nick from IDIC Beer sent me Green Stuff World's ink washes. I gotta tell you, they are fabulous.
So I've been using the black wash ink. I water it down, so I do a 50-50 ratio of it, and I used this, and it gives a very nice weathered down look. And then I oftentimes, because I actually do metallics, there's something about the way they look that I prefer. Yeah. I don't ever want to have that achievement for the 100th time. I've already spilled how many? 3?
3. And one of them twice. And it's not a wash. It's a contrast.
Yeah, I've dumped out a couple of contrast pots. And had to go buy a new shade. Which is, that's actually the biggest reason why that painting thing that my friend, our friend just said that I was talking about when you came in, Zane, because he keeps hearing me get teased about it. Yeah, contrast is really easy to spill, unfortunately.
The bottles are just poorly designed. And now, Games Workshop created the problem, and they've created the solution with their new painting Nurgle holder.
How do you know that that wasn't their plan in the first place?
I never said it wasn't. People have been screaming at them for years to ditch these pots and go to dropper bottles. They are the only company that still doesn't use damn dropper bottles.
So we actually, our roommate actually created, these are 1.5 ounce bottles that she actually made for us. So they're pretty cool. But I don't have the patience, and she is no longer in the hobby for the time being. She keeps saying she'll come back.
Yeah.
It's her choice. There was no shade. I have no idea.
I can hear it. It was very out.
Maybe something non-alcoholic to drink right now. Dr. Pepper, it's not just for dinner. Anyway, so yeah. So we are at the 2-hour mark here, folks. Anybody got a topic they want to talk about? Any questions that they want to ask? Suggestions? Things that they've heard? Oh Lord.
We're talking about the 3D printer. I've been thinking about getting. There's one that's on Amazon. It's an Ender 3. That's.
He just likes making me jealous.
What?
He's got a 3D printer, and I don't.
I've been thinking about getting the Ender 3. I hear really good things about it. What was going through our minds during the Kill Team match? Well, I was thinking...
Pop those pecs! Pop those pecs!
I was thinking, you know...
I still don't think that's very key.
This Custodes crap is bullshit. Those guys are unfair.
You're the one who told her to make them.
I know I told her to make them because
he had no idea he was going to be fighting me.
It didn't matter. I mean, here's the thing. Your mom.
That's me.
I know that.
I was talking to the people online here.
She is the first person to point out.
I'm an awful painter. Yeah, you were talking about that one, Zane, the other day.
There's a 250 resin one. Oh, it's
he was talking. He was talking about that on.
Is that an NEQ? Small build plate though. But you know what? If I'm just building pieces, parts.
Yes, he is.
I mean, I'm not trying to build.
And it's not like, I mean, most things are in small pieces or in partial plates anyway, so it's not like you can't, just make more.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's not like I'm gonna sit there and try and build a freaking dreadnought. But what's the detail like on that thing? But anyhow, while we were playing that game, while we're playing that game, and I'm thinking, this is some bullshit. And the reality is that Lady Dragon, she doesn't really normally play very competitive games. It's just not her thing. She's
a little bit of a sore loser.
And the fact that she's excited about 40K, knowing all this about it, I want to make sure she has an enjoyable time while we're getting her hooked in. Once she's hooked, she's on her own. But the other reality is I know her love of text to speech, so I was like, well, you know what? You should just do the strippers. And we were looking at how to get the stripper figures because somebody actually printed them for a Kickstarter like last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was actually really funny.
And we just really couldn't find them at a reasonable price. I found somebody that was selling them, but they wanted way too much for them. And I'm like, as a joke, no. And then we were looking at maybe get some pieces parts and find some figures that were appropriate. And she was looking at some bloodletters or blood reavers, or whatever they're called.
Blood reavers.
Blood reavers. And it's like, well, you know, you could use these for the bodies, and then we just got to get some helmets and weapons. And I know there was a couple Custodes weapons in the box of bits that Nick from IDIC Beer sent me. So I thought, well, maybe we can build them that way, and we'll just kit bash them that way. And then we found the team, and then my son decided he doesn't want to do Custodes. He had bought a single box of them, and he's like, heck with it, Mom, you can just use my Custodes, and you can use the pieces from them. So the Custodes box became a bits part box.
I did put one together at least.
So Kitten has a figure. Although technically Kitten is holding not a sword and shield, but he actually has the lance. Yeah. So, but that's the thing. I'm not really a sore loser in all reality.
He's very competitive, though.
Yes,
I am a
he
competitive
is.
person, but if I lose, I lose.
Welcome back.
That's just the nature of who I am. So, that being said, I don't mind losing to my wife. I was doing everything in my power to beat her. I spent the better part of a week trying to design a team to put maximum shots on because I know I wasn't going to deal with her tactical genius. I was going to have to deal with her figures being OP. And I say this jokingly because I wouldn't have to deal with her tactical genius because, like I said, she doesn't play tactical games. She doesn't have a lot of tactics. She has some very basics, which she's good at because she does pay attention. But, yeah. In the end, it really came down to she won. And so what's going through my head? I'm playing Custodes next time.
He was not a happy man.
Because it's some bullshit.
He kept getting mad at me because at one point I was all screw it because we were playing there were 5 markers on the board and we were actually doing missions and you had to control whoever had the controlling majority got more points. So we were the way to win the matches, you had to go after points. I have 3 guys on the table.
She put 1 guy on 3 markers. I unloaded for 4 rounds into
The
one.
middle one.
I'm sorry. I spent 3 rounds. First round I landed into 1 guy, but then she moved the guy in the middle. I spent 3 full rounds unloading every single gun in my unit.
And they just bounced off his back.
Everything. We're talking 6 guys, rapid fire, sniper fire.
I'll answer that question in a minute.
Everything under the sun. The only wound she took was from the mortal wound she couldn't shrug off because I rolled a 6 on a damage roll with one of my snipers. That is the only wound she took.
No, you managed to hurt the zealot who was in the middle.
That's the guy I'm talking about.
Nope, there was the other guy. The other guy was
That happened in the first round. I'm saying in the last 3 rounds, I put everything into that one guy. You're out in the middle, and I did a save.
Yeah, and it was hilarious because I mean he's just unleashing. Like he fired grenades at him and everything, and the grenades. And so I was like, his name is now Dwayne. Dwayne is peck popping all of those bullets away. That's why I started calling him the Rock. It's because that was it. And yeah, no, it was really fun.
Yeah, custodians
And then he
in
got really mad at me
no, I did not get
because
that.
I kept rolling sixes. I actually almost
I think
killed
he
one
just
of
got
his guys.
aggravated.
No, I did kill.
You killed 2 of my guys.
Yeah, so
She wrecked my crap. Where did the clippers go?
I don't know what'd you do with them.
I put them right here.
Did they fall on the ground?
I don't know.
And
Maybe
to
that's
answer your
what
question, Mike, he's got a chunk of them together, was very confused, is absolutely hating on the instructions, and wants to know how come he has extra pieces.
No, I know why I have extra pieces. But I have pieces I don't know how to assemble. And I don't know if I'm supposed to assemble or not.
Your cultist plan actually, I think, would work really well because it would enable you to basically give yourself a custom-made cultist army. And stop that.
Cultists suck, by the way. Just remember that.
They're cannon fodder.
They're a screening unit. They're there as a screening unit and nothing more.
I was supposed to make curry.
That's not happening.
No, it is happening. That's why the chicken's for defrosting. I'll go in a minute and you'll make it.
Yeah, yeah, we're doing mild golden curry. Oh, it's good. You've never had this.
You guys haven't made it before?
No.
This is curry from scratch.
Okay, I'll try it.
It's got chicken, really big pieces of onion. They're made to be green around it. You caramelize the chicken and the onions together, and then you dump everything in the pot, and then you have to. Did you just snip that?
Never last time it went bad.
Can you give me a snip? Can you give me other snips?
My child just snipped a paint palette.
Because last time it got mildewy. Oh, wait.
So we know exactly how many books you gave me now. You gave me
This one, right?
Yeah.
Thanks to Tina, ladies and gentlemen who are in chat. Tina is the one who gave me the first 32 books of the Horus Heresy, which I will start listening very, very soon because I am very much looking forward to actually getting some firsthand knowledge instead of hearsay from what other people have told me about the events that led up to Horus attacking and sieging Terra with 8 of his brothers. And it's kind of will be fun to actually get kind of a first-hand look at what the boys are actually like versus the portrayal that I have been given via the text-to-speech, because there is literally at one point the Emperor is explaining his different sons and their flaws.
Eater worlds.
World eaters, yes. So
It's so straightforward.
Horus was not. I can't say that. I cannot honestly say whether or not Horus was correct or not.
No.
Without
Horus
Was wrong?
was wrong. Horus.
I can't.
No, Horus was wrong.
I need.
Horus was jealous of his father's affection and over
Wait, who's
assumptive of how good he was, and he thought he was awesome. He thought he was too awesome. And he wasn't awesome. And he was supposed to do a lot of really cool stuff, but then he let his ego get in the way. And then chaos got in that ego and twisted him up. And everything is...
No word.
Mike said that Horus was correct. Zane, who is an inquisitor for the Imperium in the name of the Man Emperor of Mankind, and I will never call him God Emperor because he is not a god. He is a man. He is a beautiful, wonderful pinnacle of what mankind can be, but he's not a god. I refuse.
He's not.
So anyway, and then Mike was defending his people's
That is a really shitty mold slip.
people's reactions to the whole thing, and then
well,
You've broken my mother. Damn it. Somebody broken it up.
So, no, and then I started laughing exceptionally hard because Atomic Dog called your dad Mythos because he kept talking over me. I need more alcohol. No.
you need to go make chicken.
No, you just said you were gonna
You
do
need
it.
no more alcohol? He did.
He did. You all heard it, right? He said he was gonna go make it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I see how it is.
I don't trust Mom near fire right now, so you need to. I trust.
I'm
you.
showing that. I'm sorry. Commodore, it's gotta go. It's going through. We were already demonetized earlier today, courtesy of this guy, not me.
You guys talking about the alcohol. It's kind of interesting also.
Well, he said the F word first.
Yeah, but that just makes it a little bit.
No, that completely demonetizes you. Considering we don't have any type of restriction on our stuff.
Next time, just anytime that someone tries to cuss, just play a clip. No.
At least we don't have it set up like in the podcast. So again, if you I'm gonna go back to the whole if the emperor had text to speech, which was actually kind of cool, like I said, because I'm new to the whole thing, and it did kind of it touches on the history of the Imperium leading up to current day, which was just before we're in 7th or 8th edition. So leading up to the end of 7th edition. So Guilliman's still on life support. And that's only a no rule for you, honey. But so it was kind of it's very much the history in a nutshell of the emperor and who he is, the history of that world altogether, who the Necrons were, who the
You mean the Necrontyr?
yeah. And there was the elder god people that they kept eating.
The Quirks?
No,
Why am I
the
holding
no,
this?
the give me this.
I don't even know why I was holding it.
Yes, there are. As a matter of fact, I was able to get the first 32, which is really sad that that's the first 32. I would keep this all up, but I have to paint. Yeah, I kind of stopped painting about, what, 45 minutes ago?
Probably.
Do you want me to grab any more soda?
Oh.
Or are you good?
Yes, 32 books, and I don't think that's the full Horus Heresy.
No, that's only the first 32. There's like 100 some odd books in the series.
I don't think there's that many.
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
I don't think there was that many. Tina would know better. She and her husband actually have the entirety of the Horus Heresy on audiobook.
That sounds fun.
You know, Mike, I thought we were friends.
Someone's not an Imperium player. Why is there not a movie about this? Probably because Games Workshop saw that train wreck that was Warcraft and went, nope.
On the other hand, if you read, or no, why isn't there? There is a TV series coming.
Yes, they are doing a TV series on Netflix, isn't it?
I don't
Wait,
know.
what?
Yes, they're doing it.
I don't know if it's going to be Netflix. But I don't think they've
It's most
said.
likely it would probably be Netflix. So.
It might be Netflix. It might be BBC. Remember, they're a British company.
Yeah.
It might be Netflix. It might be BBC. It might be.
It's going to be BBC. This ought to be interesting.
Considering that they have.
BBC is probably
Now, here's the worst part about it that everybody's forgetting about. Marvel Comics is doing some 40K comics coming up. So for all we know, it could be on Disney Plus.
God,
This
no.
is a true statement.
No.
The Mouse
No.
Marines.
No. The mouse. That's like the Mouseketeers.
See you real soon. Why? Because we love you.
Somebody broke something.
I didn't break anything.
Well, no, duh, the movie for 40K would be bad. It's about the Ultramarines. Nobody wants to see anything about the freaking, over.
You leave the Smurf Marines alone.
No, I will never leave the Smurf.
They are the face.
They have what's his name?
Yes. Robo Girly Man.
Yeah, Marvel isn't doing.
Do you want more? Do you want me to rinse this out so it's not attracting flies?
I don't know.
Rinse it out for now.
I
Sorry.
rinsed it out and not bringing it back.
Mike, that's cute. That's very cute. So I knew that Marvel is teaming up with Citadel, and they are going to be doing a comic
they're
series.
tying up with Games Workshop.
Games Workshops, whatever. The idiots who do
Warhammer, the company over in England, as Jamjar tells us,
is teaming up with Marvel Comics, not the production studios, the comics, to produce a series. I am trying really hard to ignore chat right now. That was a good one, though. What would you classify a Mandalorian in? Well, Xeno, for one.
no, they're abhuman. Mandalorians are human enough. They're abhumans.
Would Mandalorians be considered Marines or just a?
No. They're just Imperial Guard. They're normal dudes. They're not genetically manipulated to be awesome. They're not made really awesome.
Yet somehow they are.
They're just
They're like Sly Moto.
they're just elites.
You drink the dried love of that. All right, boys. Bring it down. Bring it down.
Here's the thing. I love Disney Marvel.
A Specialist Army Guard. Yeah, they would.
Yeah,
Actually,
they're the equivalent, considering they come from a world that doesn't know shit about war compared to the Imperium. They're the equivalent of like Tempestus Scions, which in their own right are just great. But let's be honest, stormtroopers are Mandalorians. We know this from the Clone Wars. The stormtroopers are nothing more than cloned Mandalorians. So guess what?
this is Zane's retort for being told he drinks the dried love of a shriveled turd.
All right, folks. Built.
You know, they really can't see it when you look
It's
it up.
built. 2 hours, 24 minutes.
The Jedis would definitely be considered psychers.
Bad psychers.
Really bad psychers. Maybe members of the Inquisition?
No, they're primarily psychers. They're like the ones that are in the Imperial Guard. Because again, they're not that cool. They're just dudes. As evidenced by the fact that, oh, I've got lightsabers, I got lightsabers. Now you got a bunch of dead Jedi. I'm a fan of Star Wars, and I'm going to be honest with you.
They're really
That franchise just, yeah, they're all done. 2 hours, 24 minutes, the entire box is built.
And I'm still working on the same guy.
I build fast.
And I got distracted. Which is easy for me.
I
There where's the gray? Gray. No, we just need to pretend those never happened. Did you want to stay live? Because he's about to go make dinner. So
No, we're gonna go make dinner. So
who's this we?
we.
You said you. I have witnesses. I have witnesses. Don't even try that. You know it doesn't work. And then you said you were going to go and do it.
Guess we're not having curry tonight.
We can always make it tomorrow. Zane says, leave the lady. Yeah. The Jedi would be elder psychers.
No.
Yeah, they would. Emotionally constipated, think they're better than everyone?
No. No, you know why they're not Eldar? Because Eldar are weak and pathetic. Some of the Psychers might be Eldar. Like the dude with the ugly head, he looks like he had a normal head but shoved in an Eldar helmet for a couple extra months. No, they're just regular Psychers. They're regular dudes. Again, we go back to the whole thing. Somebody once broke it down really well. I think the best one I saw was somebody broke down what would happen if Star Wars took on Star Trek. And Star Trek would whoop that ass in about 1.3 nanoseconds.
I don't slap. That's too girly.
And I think the Imperium versus anybody, the problem with Star Wars is that the Imperial Army in Star Wars
are so inept.
They're inept. They're absolutely inept. They're absolutely inept. I mean, they have that much firepower, that many dudes.
And they still can't hit a freaking Ewok.
They were beaten with sticks and rocks and arrows by Ewoks.
No, it wasn't that you were trying to compliment my painting, honey. I thought you were about to make fun of me.
She's a great painter. She knows it.
No, I'm not.
She just tries to go, I'm not. No, she knows she's a good painter. But she doesn't want to let it go to her head. It's good. I don't know what to do with this crap. Shut up.
He's being mean to me.
That's damn right I am. I think I'm done. Oh, I'm supposed to put these gargoyles on here somewhere. I don't know. Let's check the instructions.
Wait. That sounds like a trap.
Yeah, they want me to put that cross up on top of here on one of these.
And then the other weird looking cross.
I only have one cross. And they want me to put this lid on this here.
I use instructions.
I use instructions too.
Well, Zane was asking what sort of man uses instructions.
You know what, Zane? You know what kind of man that uses instructions? I'm going to tell you the kind of man that uses instructions.
The kind that doesn't want to have to go back and do it again.
The kind of man that is confident enough in his masculinity to not be afraid to go, this don't make no sense. Where's this crap supposed to go?
How were they like Mike when they were known as the Gardens? I mean, this is literally step one. Put these pieces together, you're done. Put these pieces together, you're done. Put these pieces together, you're done.
Without numbering or...
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've put
I mean, in the end, the Tyranids are the ones that are going to win the war. Let's be honest.
Do we even know where they came from?
Yeah.
Beyond space?
Yep. Basically another galaxy. They were drawn in...
Because of the Emperor?
No.
Yeah, basically it's 3 pieces, and 3 picks, and they go, here, you glue it like this. Have fun.
Except, and they got that, and that was actually pretty easy for these things. But they have no instructions on these fences. So I had to kind of guess. And it worked, don't get me wrong. It works fine. I mean,
I do that all the time too, Zane. With my Eldar, I first box I built correct the way that they say to do it. Every box since then, I'm like, screw it. Let's see how I can position this body so it looks somewhat natural. Oh, excuse me.
yeah, I mean, the kit's not hard. Honestly, it's not like it's not a complicated kit.
It's just a pain in the butt because, you know, they don't really fully properly explain anything.
And I almost started off by improperly putting pieces together because I didn't realize they were different pieces because they're on a frame together.
Which was amazing.
I'm just putting on these little gargoyles. Which again, these gargoyles are pretty cool. This is again, it's a cool kit. We might put the review up early.
Sure, I can do that.
What's that?
So here he is. I need to. It's really such a bad picture. Sorry, it's hard to get a good picture with him in focus. I do apologize. I'm debating on whether or not I want to add some nun oil to the bones in the big thing and going down his back just to kind of give him a little more of a dirty feeling. And I've got a few more places that I have to put some bronze and some brown in. But for the most part, he's almost done. So. Oh, and I have to work on his axe because his axe is severely lacking. I'm not happy with that axe.
That's what we didn't buy. A fresh bottle of blood for the blood god.
Yeah, oh, that's right. I still need to do that. I'll probably put the blood for the blood god on once I actually have them on a base. But that is where I have been so far, and it has been slow going. He loves sepia. Okay.
What about sepia?
Mike was suggesting using sepia for the one going down his back. And Zane wants to know if you want to see his blood drawn.
Yeah.
So that he can get some opinions on it.
Sure.
Do you want me to help you?
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead, Zane. Is there a way you can send it to Big D's Instagram? He sees them that way. Thank you, Mike. Better write here some more. Because typically how I do my bones is I start off with either Screaming Skull or an off-white, and then because I really like using contrast, so I use Skeletal Horde oftentimes on it, and then I high brush it with a paler bone color. Let's see. Sometimes it's layered on flesh, and then it just kind of goes. Alrighty, have fun. We'll catch you again, Atomic Dog. And that's how I've been doing Lenin. and bone recently, but thank you for the sepia idea. Ooh, I will have to try that on the next person who has exposed bonage on them, as I'm looking at my next two, and they don't really have any exposed bonage.
Oh, I got something exposed.
I mean, next up I was going to do the dog. And I've got some ideas for him, but I don't know what color to do my blood secretor's hair, though. Because he actually has some, and I find it amusing his hair is as long as it is.
It should be blonde.
Why blonde?
Because everybody knows the blondes are the most evil.
You've been talking to my sister again, haven't you?
I didn't even talk to her. I just met her. I knew that.
Ooh. Purple. Purple's an idea. I mean, I almost thought about doing it red, but there's already so much red on him.
I'm just doing black.
That's boring. Kind of like the purple. Maybe I'll do it in pink. Yes, purple does adds a beautiful contrast for red. I have a quilt I actually made some years ago that is red and purple, actually.
Make it green and make it my Christmas.
The people coat?
Oh, Fabius's bile. Fabius's bile people coat. Is that what we're talking about? Fabius bile has a coat made of people.
Oh. Purple contrast. Okay. Now I get what he's talking about. Because I was like, wait, what? Hey, look at that.
Zane is sending me a picture.
Zane. Yeah.
Instagram.
Okay, let's try probably with the purple then. I think it'll look pretty good.
I don't need purple contrast.
I don't need purple contrast. Wow, Zane, they actually came off as protected, and he had to request them to be.
Well, no, they came off as protected because I have my Instagram set up like that. Because I don't want just any cycle.
Yeah, I don't have any purple contrast at all. I've got about 3 or 4 different shades of purple, a couple of them of Vallejo, so let's see what I can do.
Holy crap, dude.
Oh, that's awesome!
It's just caked in blood. I mean, it's literally just caked in blood.
How do you figure I'm the better painter? Seriously, dude, that's just gorgeous. Wow. I'm gonna sit over here in the corner and paint now.
Those are pretty cool. Those are pretty cool, Zane. I dig them. I dig them.
Speaking of my purples, where's my... I can use this one. Just use it a bit.
I don't care. I buy paint for it to be painted with, not for it to sit idly on the shelf and be looked at as art itself.
Wow, did we buy 2 of these?
I had one. I didn't realize I had one.
Yeah, you know what else I found we had in there?
What? Oh, yeah.
So, hey, I don't have to open the new bottle. Did I buy a new bottle? No, I did not.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yes.
So, I'm going to need brush, white brush.
Sorry, Jane. Give me a second. Let me get this piece in place, and we'll talk about your piece a lot. All right. Got my gargoyles in place. So, I dig what you're going for with the your bloat drone. How do you run that as configuration in the game?
That's one way to do it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks great. It really does look great.
So his Nurglings are more into blood.
Well, he's actually running with Iron Warriors. So it's interesting because those only run, so you'd have to do it as a run as or run them with an attachment, and that's totally fine. I love that aspect of the game. Oh, he's got a shot of what he's done so far. Okay. So you got some Poxwalkers and the
Story
base
so far.
base Poxwalkers, the base 3 of the Marines so far, and the drone. Yeah, I mean they look great. Don't get me wrong. I dig it. I dig them. They're not my style, which is what I really like about them. And that's the thing.
Yeah, he didn't do them all gross.
There are multiple ways to do figures. None of them are wrong. Some of them are not right, but that doesn't mean they're wrong.
According to you. Of course, I can't say much because
I actually really like your Poxwalkers. I love the fact that they look like they're blistered. That's really cool. It's a good look. It's a good look. I dig it. Dig it.
yes, he's unfortunately been learning about his enemies, becoming one with them, and so that he can better fight them.
Yeah, no. One of us.
For the record, he blames me for this. Wow, this shirt is really unflattering on me. Holy crap.
It's because it's my freaking shirt.
And it's comfy.
She run those as plague spitters. Okay, yeah. No, they look. Don't get me wrong, dude. They look great. I really do. Hey, look, the clippers are here. I put the fence on top of them. I like the way they look. I am hoping once I'm past No Bolter November, and I have to say it that way. I think I'm legally obligated to at this point. But once I'm past No Bolter November, I don't have I need one of those machines that echoes the things in the just the reverb thing. I think that'd be cool. I need reverb. Anyhow, I'm gonna show off my my plague marines, my death guard, the inexorable choir of no, it's
I remember you had
the word for fire. It's the word for fever. Because they're basically the reason they're so wet because my figures all look moist.
They look like they're just oozing pus. It's so
lovely.
I feel like I'm gonna get sick when he brings them out.
They're lovely. They're just the loveliest things ever. They're so awesome. And
not really one to complain, says the girl who's sitting here painting Cornites.
Blood. You're
The only reason I'm participating in No Bolter November, which I kind of feel like an idiot because I realize now I had another group that I could have built and I've been wanting to build them for a while. But my silly butt.
You could have totally done your night hunt.
Not who I was thinking about. The Coven. My Corvus Coven. My War Cry.
Could have done them too.
But I've already started and I can't stop. This Drakari army's never getting done at the rate I'm going.
Next month.
Wow, it's already been almost 3 hours.
Yeah, we're going to the 3-hour mark. Just so it said, we got 15 minutes left. We're going to be cutting off the air in 15 minutes, folks. So, if you got questions, bring them up now. But like I was saying, my Death Guard, they're basically.
Blue pants on a Poxwalker. That's awesome.
You what?
He's gluing blue pants onto a Poxwalker.
My guys look like they're just dripping with sweat as they march forward with disease and corruption in their wake. I have had people look at the bases that I put these guys on because I did custom bases for them, the Plague Marines, and the people that look at those bases are like,
That's disgusting. Stay away from me.
or to better quote one person specifically, why would you do this? Why? Why would you do this?
I'd also like to point out that it was asked a couple of times that why he was making women dicks all over them.
They're not penises, they're worms. They're little squiggly worms looking to find meat to burrow into because they're flesh-eating worms.
And now you see my problem. You have 200 Marines. Yeah.
What? What did you say? Boring and repetitive? You're not painting them right. Marines are awesome.
Over here. I've only got a little bit more on his body, and then I have to do his.
They are the shining stars of the Imperium, and to paint them is to know joy.
You want to see what?
He wants to see my gross, disgusting bases.
You will, honey. You will.
I'm actually going to do once No Bolter November's over. I'm actually going to be doing because the holidays are a busy time.
Especially for us. We have lots of family.
4 families worth of people.
Yeah.
So we get a lot to do during the holidays. Macaroni noises.
You're gonna find yourself locked out of the bedroom.
That's the other thing I eventually want to do. Just saying, at some point, I want to paint a Seraphon army, but I'm going to paint them to look like Murlocs. So their battle cry, 200 tactical Marines, dude. What chapter are you doing? What chapter are you doing 200 Marines for? I have to know. Come on.
We're waiting.
What chapter?
Watch, he doesn't want to admit it. It's Space Wolves.
No, he doesn't want to admit it because they're space Smurfs. He doesn't want to cop to the Smurfs.
Yeah, that would make me crazy. That's a lot of bloody blue.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's a lot of red you're going to be painting over the next couple
Yeah, but
years.
this is my favorite freaking years.
There you go.
I quit. I'm done.
No, you're not.
The Cornade army is yours. I quit. I'm done. I quit.
You're not allowed to quit.
Yeah, who's gonna stop me?
Me?
How? Wait, don't answer that question. I know you. You all should stay on until I finish my Poxwalkers. How long is that going to take?
Thinking of his successor. All right. So here's the thing. Saying
You got 10 minutes.
so as long as you're not trying to paint them yellow, Zane, painting them, if you're painting tactical Marines, they should be easy to paint. Honestly. I mean, not to be silly, but I mean, if I had to do 200 Marines on Flesh Tearers Red, oh my God, dude, do you understand that if you're doing 200 Marines based on Flesh Tearers Red, and you've already got them built, you just don't have them based? I'm not exaggerating. I could do them in a week. Flesh Tearers Red on an all-body Marine is so simple. You prime them white. You grab some Flesh Tearers contrast and a brush. Floop, 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 floop. Tactical Marines are small. Done. Let them dry. Next guy. You go through them, build them one squad at a time. You get them all red, and you go in and do all their weapons. I mean, you can do, maybe not a week, but I mean, I could easily do 2 squads a night. 2 squads of 10 a night. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Now, that I can understand. I mean, I can understand not enjoying as much as Nurgle painting. And this is the thing. This is why I have so many armies. I painted 1,000 points of Nurgle, and then I got, I want to paint something else. So then I started painting Space Wolves, and I painted like 1,000 points of Space Wolves, and then I painted another 1,000 points of Nurgle, and I went back and forth between the two, and now I've got like 5,000, 4,000 points of both. Now that I'm up there with them, I started painting Imperial Guard. And it's not that I don't like the Imperial Guard I'm painting, but because we decided to do something silly to start off with, the Escher Gang girls, painting them as Imperial Guard. Those are some really detailed figures. And even when you're trying to do a speed paint on them, they just got a lot of detail and a lot of alternating pieces because they're wearing a chest plate, but this is all belly, and then this is all exposed skin, and they got exposed skin on the arms, but they're wearing gloves, and then they've got leg exposed. Some of them do, and some of them have toes exposed, and there's a lot of and they are fiddly little figures to put together, so they're a pain in the butt. I've got 3 or 4 of that unit painted. I've got the rest assembled in first squad. And I just got really kind of frustrated painting them because they're just a lot of different colors. Because the color scheme I thought of, it's not complicated, but it's alternating. And so I'm just like, I'm really not into painting them right now. And so I went and painted my unmade. And then I got into AoS. And now I'm doing my Stormcast. And I'm still doing terrain in between everything else. One of the things I love about this hobby, one of the big things I love about this hobby, because I do build in the way I do, I don't let myself get bored. I don't allow myself to get bored. If I don't like what I'm doing, I find another part and I do it. If I have nothing else that I really want to do, what do I do, sweetie?
Steal my shit.
Build. You're just not let this crap go.
No, I'm not. Mostly because nobody else is. I tried to take the high road. I really did. But the boys will never let it go. Because I think they enjoy my reaction way too much.
Yeah.
Van Sar as... What kind of assassin?
Van Sar's Eversor Assassins. I'm trying to think what Van Sar is. I gotta go look that one up.
No, Chainsaw is.
You know what? If she wants to paint Sigmarites, we can get her some Sigmarites. She has some. She's not painting them.
The Commodore bought me a Sigmarine actually for my birthday. So it was very sweet of him.
So she has Sigmarites to paint. Y'all just...
They like me more than they like you.
Of course they do. You have tits.
Exactly. Well, you do too, but it's not the same. Mine are better. All men have tits. All men have the glands to make, pectorals. What?
You booed me.
It's only 99.99% of the reason. Gee, thanks, man. And here I thought I was actually valued for being an actual person. Okay, I can't even do that one with straight face.
I was going to say,
man.
of course that's not the case. You're a woman. You're not a real person.
You want a shirt or not for free? Shit.
Sandwich? I was asking what he means by sandwich.
Nothing.
Okay. Do you need me to reglue him onto his base, or did he stick? He stuck it. He's good. All right. Y'all making my wife mean. I do not appreciate this.
Oh, that's cool.
Just glued it on. Screw it. But I didn't want to leave it exposed so you could see it.
That's pretty cool.
But I didn't want to put it so it could get unglued off because we'd lose it. That's what happens in this house.
Yeah, yes, it does. Damn it, you almost made me dump over a pot.
I ain't say nothing.
Hope y'all aren't attached to him. He might not be back next week.
Y'all don't understand how much I love my wife. I love her so much. I took those Stormcasts so she would not be burdened with the painting.
Are you hearing this self-righteous Imperium drool coming out of him?
I would not want her to be burdened with such.
You can stop it right there, Loki. Okay. I need to get some of that. Okay. That goes in there.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep these other headstones
Mm-hmm.
to just make some graves. I glued one up.
You're supposed to do one there and one here. One goes here and one goes over here. Of course, you don't want to. You never want to.
I want all the time.
Someone's about to get locked out of the bedroom if he keeps this shit up.
See, here's the thing I love, and y'all don't get to see this. We have such a loving and wonderful.
Actually, we really do have a very good relationship.
We have such a loving and wonderful relationship with each other. We can endlessly talk like this to each other, knowing
Neither of us are serious.
this is all entirely just a gag for the two of us. Because my woman knows that I would honestly rather die. And I do mean that literally. I'd rather die than let anything bad or do anything to really actually harm her. So when I took those Stormcast, it was because
I actually said he could. He asked, and because he was really into them, and he was really enjoying the whole thing about them and how they're so much easier for him to paint because of their size.
my eyes aren't what they used to be. One of the reasons I'm really struggling with my Imperial Guard is I have a hard time seeing them.
Which is why I ended up taking over. I'm going to be taking over those.
It's
But-
not like I didn't give her my guard.
And
Of course she tricked you all. She's a woman. They lie. That's what they do.
apparently he doesn't want me to do this for you guys anymore. You know, screw this. I'm like canceling my Instagram. No, get the hell away from me.
Oh, she's so adorable.
No, I do have my own channel actually, but I can't go. No,
Thanks, Mike.
but no, I am actually pretty. I didn't realize how bitter I actually was about him taking it and how he's all, I'm a Sigmarine now. And it's just like, whose Marine? Whose people are those?
No, they're mine. But the goal is down the line, and let's be honest, the goal down the line, because she does like them,
Very much so.
once she's painted all of her current armies.
Which doesn't help because I keep getting more. And
No.
yes, I do know you are subbed. I just have no idea what to do for content, man. I've thought about
She's gonna just get on there and paint.
and doing like little terrain videos and crap like that, or drawing or some BS, you know, just
I think you should focus your drawing efforts on that. Keep the gaming stuff on our channel and put the drawing stuff. Your other great talent, drawing and painting.
yeah, I don't know about that part.
All right, hang on. You said it. Now you're gonna do it. She did it. Go give me the book.
Which one?
Any of them
Pick.
with the horseman.
There's only one with the horseman in it.
That's fine.
That's not even in a book. That's that poster, but okay.
Or anything with like the four, the one that has Rez and the Kender and the Mage.
I don't even know where the hell that book is.
Well, grab me one of those books out of there. Y'all, before we go off the air, I'm gonna show you this. I'm not that. You're all gonna tell her to shut up. You're all going to tell her. Oh, here's the thing. Competition. I'm all about. I want her to do stuff. I want her to get out there and do her art. The gaming channel's here, but I want her to do her own channel. I would love, honestly, for her to do her art so people can see it. Because it's not like I've been bugging her to do her art and show it off for a long time. Oh, yeah, right there. No, keep going, turn the page. Let's just go with these. Do you all see this? Do y'all see this? This is her drawing a character from a tabletop role-playing game that I was running. This is her character in that group. Do y'all see how amazing this is? Do you see how absolutely stunning this is? And then, oh, it's in my hands now. Now I'm done with you.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay,
Skip a page.
then, oh yeah, you start that one. Then, the other female character of the group, she went and did them. And notice how they don't look the same, because this character is of Middle Eastern descent.
Hey!
Hey, Nick, how's it going? And this is the
Irish character.
little tiny Irish girl that's in the game.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love doing line work, actually.
Okay, so
Hold on, let me get the other ones for you.
now keep in mind this group has 7 characters. She hasn't finished all 7 of them yet.
This one's line work is still under.
Now this is the leader of the group with his twin guns, and this is a really high, weird, magical campaign. But notice how, again, he doesn't look like the typical guy, because he's kind of a little bit of a homely guy, the long, sloping nose. And she got that. It was one of his defining features, and she got it, and got it so he looked like him.
Should we keep going?
Yeah. I'm making a point here, because she's all like, I don't.
This one's line work is not as clean or defined as I'm still working on it.
She's still working on this guy. And this is the pretty guy of the group, their bard. Do you see the theme in this character? I mean, look at this. He is a musician and an actor, and he has magic based on that. Look at this work. I see her. I gave her crap because the first figure she ever painted.
Who wants to see the World of Warcraft inspired picture?
Okay, now here's the thing. She does World of Warcraft stuff too. So a little bit of backstory. We talked about it before. Her favorite character in World of Warcraft, there's 2 favorite ones. She has a mage, and she has her bard. Her bard, a mage and a druid. Sorry, I don't know why I said bard, because I'm still thinking about the bard in the other group.
Yeah.
Okay, so her druid hangs out with a human warrior who is part Valkrul. So he's a big guy, and a female warrior that's actually a orc, but she's using an illusionary thing to look human. This is the work she does. If you've played World of Warcraft, you've seen what the art in that game looks. This is what she drew from it. She looked at their stuff and adapted it to her style. Mike, he is a fruity bard. He is hilariously fruity and very...
He is quiet and a sex addict.
Yeah. So this is the thing. Look at this. Mind-blowing talent. Absolutely stunning. So you're telling me, and I want to be clear so she hears this, so she sees it. If we were to set up a channel with a camera facing, so you guys could see her when she's drawing and working on her easel, I'm thinking that's good stuff. So this piece, we're going to move it up so you can see it's a little better. I've mentioned before that I'm a writer. Well, she and I are co-writing a world that she set up and I've inserted some characters that I've been running some huge backstory on.
This is one of the two main groups that the story starts off circling, because there's two main characters. The gentleman in the center with the hip wrap is actually the main hero of the story, and the main heroine is actually with the other group, and they circle each other until their lines finally cross. He is, I guess you could almost call him chaotic neutral.
No. He is chaotic good.
Okay, so he
is chaotic good. It's just he is.
This is modern world, actually.
Yeah, this is set in a modern thing. He is a tens of thousands year old necromancer.
49,000-year-old mage, basically.
That is living in the modern age and working behind the scenes in basically a magical mafia to kind of keep the magical people of the world protected.
And he has 4 generals.
He has 4 generals, which are named after the 4 horsemen.
Which he makes a joke at one point that that's where the Bible got the idea, was from his guys, because he had a group that went rogue.
So you've got
biblical times.
War, who her axe, she specifically has styled the axe so that the back end of her axe is a war club, because she's a Native American and wanted to keep that as part of her imagery, even though the axe is a symbol.
Thank you.
You've got my Famine,
who wears all the horsemen wear masks. It's part of their thing because it helps channel his magic into them to make them stronger. And he wears a demonic dragon's mask.
He breathes fire, and his main weapon is a millstone that
That's
he uses.
If he's not just beating you with his fist.
But he uses it like a discus and a smashing hammer. You've got.
This is Pestilence.
Pestilence, who is a 13-year-old boy that was dying of cancer.
His weapon is a sage. Is an incense burner that's attached to this staff that he beats people with.
Yeah.
And his mask is actually a steampunked, cyberpunked out plague doctor's mask.
And lastly, his death
is the chick in the center wearing barely anything.
The chick on the side there by Lady Dragon's Head is his major domo. She runs basically his mortal end of business.
Good night.
You know, Nick, thank you for stopping by.
Yes, very much. It was a pleasure to see you.
So that's the thing. When I say the terrain stuff we're going to keep it on the channel here. But that's because I think her drawing and her art and her painting is so.
Oh,
thank you. The thing that I want her to, the reason I don't want her to do terrain on her channel, it's not because I don't want to take away from this terrain. It's because I don't want her doing gaming stuff to take away from her talent as a painter and as a artist drawing. I don't want to take away from her skill with that. I don't want that to distract from her ability to draw and to paint. So it's one of the things we want to set up for her. I wish you knew that book. She has one. We have a gnome. I've got a picture of it somewhere. I had you draw Zeta once.
I don't remember ever drawing Zeta, in all honesty.
I think it's just her face, but you drew her face. My longest term character in World of Warcraft was a gnome rogue. And for those of you that have played World of Warcraft, I was playing sword rogues when it wasn't cool. Because I didn't like daggers. I wanted a sword. And he drew my Zeta. He drew my Zeta. No, she drew my Zeta. And she just has this psychotic, because Zeta's never stopped smiling.
Zeta's insane.
Zeta's absolutely insane. Her typical way of greeting somebody is walking up and stabbing them in the leg. Hi! Because she needs to know you can take a hit. So, yeah.
Wish he was joking. But yeah, I mean, I've had a couple people. I mean, some of the guys I used to play World of Warcraft with wanted me to do that, and I never knew how to.
So
I'm just not really, you know.
So it's not just people that are here. I mean, it's not just people that she lives with telling her, "Oh yeah, honey, you're a good artist. You guys are objective. You guys are out on the internet. You can be as you guys are objective and able to sit out there on the internet. You can tell her she does good work." So
That being said,
that
thank
being
you.
said, we're going to get that channel up and going sooner rather than later now, because I hadn't realized you had gotten that bad about thinking how wonderful your art is. So we'll be advertising that right here. We are past the 3-hour mark. We need to make dinner. We need to make sure that laundry gets done. We got a bunch of household chores. We need to step aside from the hobby fun and deal with some real world stuff before the end of the night. So I'm Big D, the Game Trap Dragon.
I'm Lady D.
And we're happy you spent this time with us.
Thank you so much for sticking around and listening to our rambles on what's going on in the gaming community, what's going on in
and what's going on this table.
Yes.
We will see you Tuesday for our regular live stream.
Oh, he's almost done dancing. So we will be back on Tuesday for our regular live stream, in which I will probably be talking about the Phoenix Rising book and the lore that it talks about in there. I may or may not do a live stream of me working on my attempt to draw Succubus from the Drukhari. I do say attempt because it's not going well. I have to do better at drawing non-human figures. And slight shameless self-promotion that most of those are actually going to be going up on DeviantArt. So if anybody wants a copy, you're more than welcome to let me know and I'll get you one. I need to get them into the computer so that I can paint them. And hi, Meeks. We need the link. Yeah.
I'll get the link. We'll put it in the comments in this chat, in this episode afterwards. So it's out there, and it is out in the world.
Yeah. I just need to get to a printer that can handle that size.
So that being said, folks, once again, thank you so much for being with us today.
Yes.
We appreciate you. We love to have you by.
Always a pleasure to have you guys around.
And this is Minecraft Dragon signing out.
Lady Dragon signing off.
Happy your game.
And he's almost done.